Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving the 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. Up front is a 2.5 liter inline 4 as well as a hybrid system, and down below is an eCVT. Now I am super excited to be driving this RAV4 here today because I spent the last week driving it. I've driven pretty much every trim level of the 2026 RAV4. This is all new for the 26 model year, and I've driven the XSE, I've driven the GR Sport, and I've driven the Woodland, and now I'm driving the Limited. So if you want any information about the Toyota RAV4, I have a video of it here on the channel. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter inline 4 as well as the hybrid system. So the RAV4 is hybrid only. However, there are two hybrid drivetrains available. This is the standard hybrid. There's also a plug-in hybrid. So this, you don't have to do anything different than any other car that you would ever drive. Plug-in hybrid, obviously you have to plug it in. Now, those vehicles are going to get more power and have more EV driving range, but this still has a combined fuel economy of 41 miles to the gallon, 43 in the city and 37 on the highway. Very, very good numbers from a non-plug-in vehicle. I like this drivetrain. They've used it for a while now. It's reliable, and I have a lot of faith in it. Like I said, paired to it is an eCVT. Toyota makes fantastic eCVTs, and that is no different here in the RAV4. Last but not least, this particular RAV4 is all-wheel drive. However, you can find front-wheel drive RAV4s down at the base. How does it feel to drive the RAV4? Well, it drives great. It drives like any other normal vehicle, and that's a very good thing because of how popular the RAV4 is here in the States. A lot of different people have to be able to drive it. Your dad, who's really into model trains, has to be able to drive it just as easily as your sister, who is still in her unicorn pony phase at age 16. They're going to both be able to drive this car pretty flawlessly. Whether you're a bigger fellow like me or a smaller fellow, you're going to fit well, you're going to be able to drive it well. Ride quality is fine. Don't expect anything crazy, especially the Lexus products do have better dampening than this vehicle, but it is still a Toyota, so there's that. Visibility is good, throttle response is fine, and I have no complaints. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster, and I really like this because the outgoing gauge cluster was so congested and just busy to look at. This is a lot more simple. Toyota has done a good job simplifying it, and I'm so happy to see that this gauge cluster is actually starting to work its way into other Toyota products. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our selectors for that gauge cluster screen, as well as we have our skip track and volume, and off to the right, we have our adaptive cruise with steering assist. Off to the left, we have a climate control vent, we have our gauge dimmer switch, tailgate release, and gas cap release way down below by the hood release. And moving on to the door, we have two levels of memory seats, we have power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we get our brand new big infotainment display. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are wireless. It also has a built-in drive recorder, which is very nice, a built-in dash camera. Very, very cool to see that. As well as we do have a 360 camera. Absolutely awesome to see that in the vehicle as well. Now, our climate controls are ran through the screen. And in the first 3 RAV4 videos that I did of this new generation, I filmed them all on the same day. I wasn't super sure about them. Now, having experienced it for a full week, it's fine. Honestly, I don't love touchscreen climate controls, but they've worked well enough here. They haven't been laggy, or they haven't started up at a weird time or taken too long to turn on, so it all works out. I complained a little bit too much in my previous videos. They're fine to live with. Down below that, we have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch. We have our drive mode and EV mode select off to the left. We have more drive modes for trail, snow, and normal off to the right. In the center, we do get a wireless charger, and down below that, we get a cubby. To the left, we have a 45-watt outlet, which is USB-C. We have our camera view button and parking assist. And off to the right, we have another 45-watt USB-C charger, hill descent control, and traction control off. Moving into the center, off to the left, we do have our shifter. Now, this is the updated shifter. Some models of the RAV4 get this. Some models of the RAV4 don't. Some have a more traditional shifter like the Woodland seen here. This is what some of them come with. The other ones do come with this drive-by-wire shifter, so something to note there. Down below that, we do have our power parking brake and auto holding brake, and off to the right, we have cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and it fails here in the cup holder. However, there are specific bottle slots in the doors for larger bottles, and there it actually does, in fact, pass the big friggin' bottle test, so absolutely awesome to see that here. Then we do get a center console that has a little trick lid to it. You can actually pull the lid off and flip it upside down. So if you want like a little tray, you're gonna eat your lunch, you need something more stable to rest something on, you could use that, or flip it over for a more comfy armrest. The seats here in the Limited are heated and ventilated. They are memory and they are very comfortable. Both the driver and passenger seat are both power operated as well. Sometimes automakers forget about the passenger seat and make that manual to save some dollars. Not here in the RAV4 Limited. So you get both power seats and they are comfortable. I like the lighter interior as well. This is my first time dealing with the lighter interior, and I have to say it adds a really nice contrast to the rest of the car. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, getting in the back of the new RAV4, close it up here. And there you go. This is my driving position, and my knees are coming close to the seat in front of me. However, I could be nice and move up to give myself more space. Down below here, we have two 15-watt USB-C chargers as well as heated seats. We get two climate control vents. Very, very nice to see that. And overall, you can see the lighter interior in here looks nice as well. You get to enjoy the sunroof when it's open. However, the sun would be directly into the camera if I opened it up. So I wanted you to be able to see the interior rather than just the sun's rays. We do have two cup holders back here as well. However, what's missing, what a lot of families might be looking for, is that it doesn't have the pull-up sunshade that comes out of the door like a lot of other vehicles do. So that is a little bit of a downside, but honestly, other than that, pretty good back seat. Headroom is good as well, so no complaints from Zack. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, coming around the back of the new RAV4, press button there. It does have a power operated liftgate, which is very, very nice. You do get this nice RAV4 branded floor mat, JBL speaker as well. And you do get a 12-volt outlet. So anything you could really want in the back of an SUV like this. You get a little privacy cover as well, all here in the back of the new RAV4. Come up here, you can either lock the vehicle or just do the power tailgate right back down. There you go. You can also kick under the bumper, and that will open the tailgate if your hands are full, which is very, very nice to see. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I like the look of the new RAV4. I think it still very much obviously looks like a RAV4. However, it looks modern and updated enough. You're gonna be seeing these in the next coming days, weeks, and months all over the place. And so they're not awful to look at. I'm not upchucking my lunch at their site, and so, well, I'm pretty happy with that. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving another Toyota RAV4 now up at the Limited trim level? In all honesty, I'd probably say the XSE is the best trim level. That's going to be one of the most popular ones. You're going to get a lot of bang for your buck and not overspend on the vehicle. For $46,000, this is very expensive. And so I don't think you need everything in here. I think you can live without the heated and ventilated seats. You can live without the giant sunroof. You can live without a lot of things. And the RAV4 is just such a fantastic option when it's not in its top trim. If you want all the bells and whistles, you can get them, but I would highly recommend seeking out a mid-trim or a Woodland. If you're a little bit into more outdoorsy stuff, I would recommend the GR Sport if you're into a little bit more sporty looking. But honestly, I don't have any big final thoughts. I don't have a big crescendo at the end of this video. I don't have some philosophical who's a whatcha to say, oh, you know, the ethics behind the RAV4 mean you're actually secretly a good, solid person. No, this is a basic car. It does basic things, and this is just the new generation of it. We're going to see them everywhere. They're going to continue to be reliable, and this is just as solid as butter on bread. It's been a meal of the people for the last 1,000 years, it'll probably be the meal of the people for the next 1,000. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota for letting me borrow their RAV4 for the last week. Huge thank you to Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and delivery of this vehicle. And of course, the Midwest Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.